and welcome to my sketchbook tour. I'm Anna, and I try to maintain creativity within my life. I do this by drawing and painting primarily in my sketchbook. I didn't have a goal for this sketchbook. I don't typically have goals for my sketchbooks at the moment, so get ready for some disparate pages. We'll have some finished paintings and some really sketchy, messy ideas. Honestly, I don't remember everything. I did start the sketchbook in December 2021 and finished it kind of recently in March, but here we are. It's done. I'm going to show you what it's like. Grab a snack or beverage and let's get into this. This is my sketchbook. This sticker is from Grace Art Studio. It's a mixed media sketchbook. It is art alternatives. I was looking for a Strathmore mixed media sketchbook and couldn't find one. And this I actually really liked. The cover is just paper. It stood up a little bit better. I think the Strathmore, especially the soft cover, gets dinged up really easily. This is my first page, trying a little bit of mixed media. I really like this illustration down here, which ended up being only gouache. Very focused in this first page on filling all the spaces, which you'll see as we continue is not typical. I'm not someone who typically uses both sides of the page. I don't like the interruption. Like, we got lines, I can't do it. This page is fine. I don't really like it. The background is flat, the tiger looks awkward. I'm sure the image was great. This is the handle of the person on Unsplash that I used as a reference, but it just didn't turn out. It's not sparkling and shining for me. This page is cute. Ignore that, that's from Scrabble. Cute little line drawings, illustrations. Again, a couple more from Unsplash, trying some line drawings. It's very sketchy stuff. I like the slight color. I feel like this needs more color, but I just abandoned this page because it was Christmas and I stopped. We have two kind of distinct illustrations from a timeline perspective. This I only did quite recently. I know I said I finished the sketchbook in March, but then I opened it up recently and really liked this and wanted to do something that went along style-wise with it. So I created this flower illustration, both my own references from kind of walks around my house in California. This tiger looks a little squashed, but I do like the colors, using the purple as instead of a true black, to kind of work, play off the orange. Some flowers that are fine. I feel like the flowers themselves look fine, and then the stems and the vase I can never get right. This is an abandoned illustration. I was unhappy with it, and so I moved on. So we will too. Another one where I started this sketchbook with the intention of, like, I'm gonna fill all of the empty spaces and all of the pages with, stuff. But that's really not how I work. I really like this illustration though. It's cute. This we're kind of moving on to some work that I did from using line of action, which is a gesture drawing. It's typically used for figure drawing, but they also have like an animal section. I like animals. 30-second sketches, so those are most of those, and then it moves on to like I think a minute and then 5 minutes. So this was when you get the gesture drawing, the rest of it goes really well. You can see this and this are 5-minute sketches, but like this guy looks completed and this one does not. So, practicing your gesture drawing is really important in getting kind of the feel of the figure down, whether that be a person figure or a animal figure. More gesture drawing. These are like my less than 30 second, I think, and 1 minute ones, going into some 5-minute drawings, and then this I think was 20 minutes in April. I was obviously on a line of action kick because there's another page with just gesture drawings and a couple of animal illustrations. I think these were probably both more like 10-minute drawings. I'm not 100%. A couple more. This was probably from the previous session as well. With a fox, I was trying some Poscas in this sketchbook, and they just don't hold up on paper. It gets a lot of like pilling, which I immediately hated, and so I did not use Poscas the rest of the sketchbook. This is a graphite illustration of Kiki's Delivery Service. I love this movie. Has made me cry. That is all. A couple more animal illustrations, shorter sessions, I think, of gesture drawing, and I think I've grabbed some, this guy from Unsplash, but maybe not. But I drew the initial, and then I just loved their position and the screaming, and I relate to it sometimes. And then we have this pretty flower illustration up at the top. I like both of these a lot. This was a trip to San Diego. This is Balboa Park. I really like the texture in here. It does feel a little bit flat. I'm working on gouache and finding some depth in it from just color-wise. Right, we have the same saturation of everything that's in the background and everything in the foreground. So if you really wanted it to pop, this saturation should be lower and this saturation should be higher. But sometimes you just want to paint pretty pictures and textures. More gesture drawings. This cute duck. Sometimes I think I'm bad at stuff, which, you know, you gotta be bad to get good. So I don't actually think it's an issue, because who cares if I'm bad? This one, probably a bouquet that my husband got me, because he's a sweetie pie. I was working on painting my room, and I got a green color, and I could not, I painted one layer and I hated it. So I was just testing things out. This little gal's really cute. Had a really difficult time with this meerkat. I painted it because I hated, which is never a good way to manage it. But I painted it with a wash because I really disliked the sketch underneath and I wanted to hide some of the lines. Still don't like it. But some figure drawing, I go to a figure drawing class periodically with no rhyme or reason when. But this was one of my first ones. I am not great at proportions. Like, her torso is really tall, and that's why I go to the classes to practice more. Another bouquet that I bought. I really like flowers. I think these Baby's Breath probably would stand off the page a little bit more if I had put a background in, but I didn't. The start of a random sketch, the test of this looks like a lemon. I don't know what I was doing, but obviously I was struggling because I'm in a funk and I couldn't, was trying to get out of it with this. In the beginning of 2023, I did a creative challenge, so I created a sticker and a postcard for a couple friends and family each month, and it was kind of a test of like, can I do Patreon? I'm not a full-time artist, and so it was a question of, do I have the time, do I have the energy to actually make a thing each month? And this was probably, from a mental health perspective, the worst month. It was the start of the challenge. Anytime it's like, it will always be better than this month. Because as you saw on the previous page, I was in a funk. These are some cute little ducks. My neighbor has ducks, and with the rain that we had over the winter, they have a little pond and a lot of greenery. I think the ducks didn't feel distinct enough from the background. Attempting to get the texture of the water and the texture of the background and then the color of the ducks correctly, it all faded together. I added some lines in and I thought that worked, but it's still not my favorite. Some more figure drawing. I will say This one's not too bad. This woman did say that her arms are super long, so it does look awkward here. So I probably have it off. But she also has very long arms. We're doing our gesture drawings in the beginning of the class, and she like pauses in between too, and she's just like, "Oh guys, I forgot to tell you, like I have really long arms, so like be mindful of that when you're doing and looking at everything." And these are both 20-minute drawings. And I think this is another 20-minute, and I gave up and started to draw out details because I was very frustrated at this pose. That happens. I have a tendency to go into too much detail too soon, so I won't get 10, 15 minutes in, and I'll have like one portion all detailed out, and then the other portion I'll realize is like way too small or way too large, or I'll have like the detail here and here done, but then everything in between proportionally will be so like completely off. So working through that. This was kind of a thought process on like what I wanted to do for February. Kind of trying to mix in like the Easter vibes with like the Valentine's Day without doing something obviously Valentine's Day. So I had a couple ideas, and then I ended up drawing this guy and doing a sticker. I just found a reference photo of a little bunny picking its nose, and I thought that was hilarious. I love this illustration. This is Newman, the cutest little line drawing. I did take this, I had to focus, I was doing this drawing, I was trying to figure out like what am I getting wrong? What am I getting wrong? Because the tongue was looking way off. And so I paused in the illustration and I drew the bunny's face like really big to try and get that detail to be able to know what I was trying to reduce. Because sometimes that's the best way for me to figure something out. There's a couple of line drawings, some random pictures that I found probably on Unsplash or Pinterest. Thought this was funny, but mostly animals. Another Newman drawing. I think I drew this guy first, this version of Newman, and then I copied him and drew him different. I was like, I just want to try something a little bit different with some more distinct like lines. This is an illustration that I did for February of my creative challenge. February is pretty much spring in Southern California. And then I was visiting with my family, and we went to my friend's wedding, and I just liked the idea of some of the pictures that I took there were very pretty. So some quick sketches of that. A random like shadow of probably Newman again. And this was March. I did my birthday's in March as well as my husband's, as well as my dog's. So like March is the birthday month for this family. So I did a like full page, a little bit more of a callback to the initial page, very full, very fun. Color-wise, like the similar colors throughout the whole page. I didn't end up using all the things for my creative challenge. And then I got a new water bottle, and I didn't want to throw out my stickers. That's everything. Dates through March, but sort of a lie because I did do that one illustration in June this past month. I think maybe, yeah, finished it like a week ago. So that's everything.
I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Reviewing this sketchbook has made me want to make some of the illustrations into stickers, so maybe you'll see that in my shop upcoming. You can check that out in the description. I hope to put out sketchbook tours on a regular basis. We will see how often I fill them. I'm trying to be a little bit more dedicated with it. I hope you do something creative today. Echo and I say bye-bye, and we hope you have a good day.